All right, this evening we're going to be talking about 5 common mistakes that beginners make and what not to do so you don't make the mistake and your guitar playing improves and improves and improves and improves and you're playing and have as much fun as you possibly can. Okay, number 1, first thing, trying to play riffs or licks with one finger, like now, I did do that with one finger, but that's a lot of work and a lot of moving back and forth. What you want to do is learn to use all your fingers in what's called positional playing. And the best way to develop the positional playing, or start to develop that, is basically whatever fret you're starting at, the fret right next with your first finger, the fret right next to it, you want to play with your second finger. The fret right next to that, you want to play with your third finger. And the fret right next to that, you want to play with your pinky. And when you're descending or going down, it's reversed. That's called positional playing. So instead of playing that riff, I would play it like this. There's a little bit of movement there, but there's the positional playing. Instead of moving my hand all the way up there to play that note, I just play it with my third finger. And up here, instead of moving my hand all the way up here and then back to here, I'm playing it with my pinky. That's called positional playing, using all the fingers of your hand. And the next thing, number 3, is playing with your guitar out of tune. The first skill you should be developing or concentrating on is tuning your guitar. You can buy tuners. I have a video on my channel about tuning your guitar. It's the first video I put on my channel. It's the oldest. If you look on the oldest videos, you'll see it. Learn to tune your guitar. If it's out of tune after you do tune it, you might have some old strings. Your guitar might need to be set up. So buy a new set of strings, take it to the local music store, tell them you need to get your guitar set up. They'll know exactly what you're talking about, and that should take care of the problem. And then as far as little tip, as far as strings, how long they usually last, I dropped my pick, give me a second. All right. I'd say a good rule of thumb is about 3 months. And then change some strings. Another reason for the out of tune, even if you tune your guitar up and the tuner says it's in tune, another reason is pressing too hard. Either pressing too hard on the strings, or you're actually pulling the string down like that when it's not supposed to be pulled down. And so you get that slight out of tune sound. And now pressing too hard, it's comes with a little bit of practice and time. Basically what you want to do is just, I'm on the low E string at the 3rd fret, and you just want to put your finger there and then start pressing down till this note comes out. And then you'll get a feel for how hard you have to press the strings down to get the note to come out and ring. And that's the sound you want. You don't want to be pressing too hard. A lot of students make that mistake when they're first starting because they're trying to get the notes to come out, so they end up pressing really hard, and you don't have to do that to make the notes come out. Number 5, wow, we're at number 5 already. Number 5 is picking too hard or picking too light. So, or even strumming, if you're up to that point where you're strumming. You don't want to, it's the extremes you kind of want to avoid. You want to avoid now I'm going to play, well, I'll play the first thing I played earlier in the video, right? You don't want to play it too hard. You don't want to play it too light either. Just find a nice happy medium between too much and too light. All right? And one more bonus mistake then this honestly should have been number one, but I didn't do it that way. But that's okay. This is it. The number one mistake that students make is not consistently picking up your guitar and playing it. Especially in the beginning stages. The beginning 6 months to a year, you have to pick up that guitar 6 times a week. You can take one day off. That's fine. And you don't have to do the consistent, every time you pick it up, you play for 30 minutes. That's too long, actually, for a beginner. I would say a good, solid, consistent 6 days a week, picking that guitar up and playing for 10 to 20 minutes, it's going to be way more productive than picking that guitar up every other day or every 2 days, or going to a guitar lesson and then letting the guitar sit in the corner for a whole week, and then trying to practice for a half an hour right before the guitar lesson. Because what you're doing is you haven't developed the skills, the repetition from doing it repetitiously, to where you can take that day or two off. I've been playing for 36 years. I can take a day or two off, and I still remember how to play. I burnt into the neurons of my brain how my fingers move. I can make the forms for the shapes for certain chords without even touching the guitar, because I've made them and done them so many times. I've played this chord easily over 10,000 times. So that's why. Now, I still have to practice, because there is an old saying, and I will say this quote, when you start playing, and you start playing with bands and stuff, if you skip a day of playing, you'll be the only person that will notice. You skip 2 days of playing, everyone else in the band will notice. You skip 3 days of playing, everyone else will notice. So on that note, pick up your guitar, tune your guitar, and play and have fun. That's what it's supposed to be. Thank you, subscribers. I really appreciate it. Ring the bell so you get notified when I make new videos. And leave a comment if you have any suggestions, or just leave a comment. Thank you. And pick up your guitar and play.